There are 8 subtle signs that someone has a low opinion of you. And I'm not just talking about women that you're going on dates with. I'm talking about someone who is your wife or maybe even who you think is your friend. That's what this video is about, and I'm going to get into that in one moment. But first, if you're new to my channel, welcome. My name is Kane. I'm a Silver Bachelor. This channel is 100% dedicated to dating advice for older guys. And if you haven't subscribed, hit that subscribe button and a notification button because I'm dropping a video every day. All right, 8 subtle signs that someone has a low opinion of you. And I made a bunch of notes over here, so I'm going to take a look over here and just make sure I cover everything. All right, number one, they rarely engage in eye contact. This is a big one. Like if someone's genuinely into you, they're going to look deep into your eyes. And the thing is, I was married before, and this is what happened during my marriage. I was married for 20 years, and eventually the engagement was lost. She was not looking into my eyes because she was on her damn phone most of the time. So this is the same with dating, or you're on a date, or even if you've got some friends and you're hanging out with some friends and you're trying to express yourself or something and they're not looking into your eyes. So just be very cautious of that one. Okay. So that's number one, that they rarely keep eye contact. Number two, they constantly interrupt you. Oof. This is more men do this, and an angry wife or a wife that has basically lost respect for you will interrupt you. Okay. So you need to be aware of that and not tolerate that. One of the ways to not allow yourself to be interrupted is to raise your voice and keep talking. Like, just overwhelm them. I remember I saw a clip of Will Smith one time where somebody was trying to interrupt him. And he increased his vocal tone a little bit, and he just kept speaking, trying to finish his point. And basically it's like that other person didn't exist. So that's just a technique you can use in a way when somebody's trying to interrupt you. So that's number two. Number three, they're always on their phone when you're around. Now, you have no idea how many times I see this in restaurants. Couples that are in a restaurant, they're sitting down, and she mostly is on her phone. Now, I've seen him on his phone as well, but if she's on her phone, and this is what happened to me in my marriage, later on in my marriage, she was on her phone constantly, even at restaurants. And then at that point, when I brought it up, she got upset, and silly me for not putting down more hard boundaries around this. But if somebody respects you and has a high opinion of you, they will not be on their phone. By the way, I rarely have to deal with this problem with someone on their phone all the time when I'm on dates. I think it's because they could just tell that I have the masculine frame that they're looking for, and they just are very respectful that way. So just watch out for that one, okay? So number four, oh, this is a big one. Number four, they never remember what you've told them. And here's the thing. I'm going to flip the script, okay? If you guys are dating, I encourage you to take notes. Put her name in your phone and use your notepad. So I don't know if you're using an Apple product, the Apple's got a notepad. Put her name in the notepad and make fucking notes about her. Because you're going to forget, especially if you're dating multiple people, you're going to forget little details. Like, for example, if she says, I can't stand pickles. Now you're out at some restaurant a few weeks later and you order a hamburger and she's not paying attention and it's got pickles in it, and she's going to look at you and she's going to say, I thought I told you that I hate pickles. That's what I mean. So it works on both sides, but clearly if she's not remembering the details that you've told them, even people that you've just met that you think are now maybe potential friends, like guy friends, and they're not even remembering what the fuck you've told them, that's a red flag, okay? So number five, they rarely ask about your life. So this is a big one, especially on your first few dates. And if they don't even ask you any fucking questions, then they're not genuinely interested. And I'm not buying this, well, maybe they're shy. No, well, get over your damn shyness. It's a fucking date. Like, just like If you show up to I'm going to give you guys a tip, okay? A job tip, career tip. If you go to an interview, right? I'm an executive. I'm a marketing executive, so I know all about this. And I'm at the highest level of marketing in the company in North America, okay? So you go to an interview, and at the end of the interview, every single interviewer will say, do you have any questions for us? Do you know how many candidates haven't even thought of any questions to ask after? I'm like, you fucking idiot. Which, by the way, that's a red flag when an interviewer asks that question and says, do you have any questions for us? And you don't even have any questions. I pretty much won't hire that person. So that's the tip. Just like, that's the tip. Anyways, dating and the tip. So just like if you're on a date, it's even more important that that person is asking you questions about your life. Like, are they interested or not? This is the best job in the world to date me. Right? Just kidding. But not kidding. And so she doesn't ask you any questions. That's a huge red flag. All right. So let's see. I'm at number 5. So number 6, they dismiss or belittle your achievements. Now, this I've rarely come across with women, but I've come across this a lot with guys, especially guy friends, where they might roll their eyes and go, oh, great, here we go again with the story of how you kicked that field goal with 10 seconds left in the game. Oh my God. And this is in front of a bunch of other guys because they've heard this story a few times. Watch out for that because that's a sign of jealousy and maybe they have actually a low opinion of you. All right. So now number 7, they often leave you out of plans. So I will share this. I have a biological sister. We were both adopted into different families. She's had problems in her family, right? And her adoptive father died. I go to the funeral. So my adoptive sister is there. But again, like I said, we were adopted in 2 different families. So her adoptive father passes away. I'm at the funeral, at the wake, and she's there. And she comes up to me and she says, she's crying. I'm like, oh my God, are you okay? And she's like, well, I'm crying because you know how every funeral, every wake, they have like a TV with a photo collage of photos, in a loop showing memories, right? So she says to me, she's like, there's not a single photo of me in any of these family photos. And she was adopted at the age of 13. And by this time, she was 35, I guess, when her father passed away, her adoptive father passed away. And afterwards, she called me and she asked me about it. And I told her, I said, look, that is not a mishap. That they didn't accidentally forget to put pictures of you in there. They purposely did that. They purposely left you out. And they have a low opinion of you. I'm sorry. And that almost broke her heart, but she was glad I was honest with her about that. And there was friction in the family, but I had no idea the depth of the friction when that happened. So it's like if you find out after the fact of, oh, how come I didn't get an invitation to this thing? Because like a whole bunch of other people got invited to this party, but for whatever reason you didn't get invited. Again, this is a red flag and just don't ignore these things, okay? And then last but not least, they don't respect your boundaries. So I'm not one to throw around that word boundaries very often. But I mean, just little things like, hey, can you give me just a day's notice of when this is going to come up? Or you've mentioned to them many times, you go to bed early and they're calling you at 12:30 at night or 1 in the morning or something. It's just little things like that. But just be aware of when somebody has a low opinion of you, it's these subtle things that you can pick up on and maybe something for you to consider on whether or not you want to keep dating them, be married to them, or be a friend with them. So hope you like this video and we'll see you next time.